Hello. I hope you've had or are having an amazing day because you deserve it. Also, my name is Tears, and I am a big fan of FF7. Well, not a big fan, but I am a fan. But a fan that is concerned about what this trilogy is aiming for because we're heading on to Rebirth, and I still don't know what the point is, what they're doing. Like, what is the point? And that's what I'm going to try to break down my thoughts. Because I love this series, but what are they trying to do with this new trilogy? Let's go. I'm going to go ahead and read off some notes I have because I know I'm going to go off on tangents, and repeat myself. And I don't want to do that. Ultimately, my biggest concern is that they are creating multiple timelines or alternate universe, sort of like a what if scenario. But the thing is, will any of this be canon? And will it even matter? Also, there is going to be spoilers for Remake and Integrate. If you don't want to be spoiled, I don't know why you're watching this video, but I just wanted to warn you, okay? I will say that the devs and everybody behind this project are very ambitious for what they're doing. I am honestly shocked. Square could have easily gone like a lot of money just doing a shot for shot remake or like from the ground up of the OG game. They could have done that and made bank because everybody was going to play it regardless. And I want to give props to the creative team that went ahead and decided, you know what, we're going to do something different. We're going to like reimagine certain scenarios and stuff. And for the most part, obviously it was successful. But I'm just concerned that they're biting off more than they can chew. Considering what he said, I forgot his name, I need to be respectful. But what was said in the live stream yesterday, that they're already working on parts of the third game. And I'm just like, I don't know if it's a good thing they're working that fast, but at least they're heading somewhere. Because Remake came out in 2020 and we're not getting the Rebirth until next year of 2023. That's a 3-year difference. I'm mentioning the years because I've been holding back for 3 years about my thoughts on Remake because I wanted to wait for the whole whatever project, because in the beginning they said this was going to be episodic like, and obviously when I think of episodic I'm thinking like Telltale's The Walking Dead or Life is Strange. I'm thinking, oh, we're going to get like multiple episodes of like 60 hours of content, because that's how long Remake was, and that only covered like the first portion of the OG game. But now that we know this is a trilogy, I'm thinking, oh, they're going to cut a lot of stuff. Unless like the next two are going to be long like Persona, like 90 to 100 hours long, then okay, I could see that. Because they're also remaking parts of the OG game, bring them to life, in an HD setting, because it's been like decades since the first game. But now they're adding this new material. For instance, a AU or another timeline where Zack lives. And then they had Yuffie's like introduction and DLC. And it's just, that's a lot of content, like new content too. This isn't something that Yuffie had in the OG game. Because remember, Yuffie and Vincent were both optional, or you had to unlock them. And so I'm concerned that they're not only juggling OG material, they're having to add new material. And I am worried that one is going to get more focus than the other. And like the stuff that they want to do are going to be like DLC, just like with Yuffie. Because she could have been in the remake, but they decided to do a DLC. And that's just, people can't really afford that. Especially now since Rebirth is going to be a PS5 exclusive. And that's another concern I have. And then you need to play at least, or not play, engage in the entirety of the FF7 compilation to understand what's going on. Because, remember, Weiss and Nero were introduced in Dirge of Cerberus. And I'm pretty sure new fans don't even know that. the majority of new fans or people who really didn't know much of FF7 went into this remake, or what I'm calling the RE trilogy, the Re trilogy, because Crisis Core, I'm excited about that one, okay? I'm excited about Crisis Core getting a remake, but it's called a Reunion. You have FF7 Remake, FF7 Rebirth. So I'm dubbing this the RE saga or era. And I'm just like cautious because will any of this even matter? Because they're gonna like I'll be honest, like I am concerned that they're doing multiple timelines. I'm trying not to see it in a comic book lens, but I can't help it. I can't help it. Because Remake already pissed off established fans that this wasn't a shot for shot remake. That it was basically they're reinterpreting the material of the original compilation and turning it into something else. And I'm just they are competent writers. There's like a great team behind this. I'm worried that they're being a little bit ambitious and that Rebirth may not be as successful, you know? I want them to succeed in this. I want to see where this goes. I just want to know what's the point of it all. What's the point of creating multiple different timelines if you're just going to stick to the OG stuff? Like, let's imagine the scenario where, yes, Zack is alive, but in that timeline, since he's alive, Sephiroth wins. Because in the teaser that we got, they're saying, what is Sephiroth's endgame? Sephiroth is the one that's rewriting all this. So there's a reason why Zack is alive in another timeline. Either Sephiroth allowed it or the Whisperers allowed it. Either way, will him being alive even affect the story? Because what we saw integrates that Zack being alive is taking place in their timeline. And also Aerith is missing there or wasn't shown in the church. But why are they showing that? But then they're also showing what's happening in the OG timeline. Like, what is their goal? What is the goal of this trilogy? I can't see it. I know the whole trilogy isn't out and I should wait, but I can't. I can't. I'm just a little sad because I'm seeing all this excitement and hype surrounding everything, especially since the anniversary was yesterday. We had that amazing stream. And I want to be excited, but I'm anxious. I'm very anxious. Ever since, like, we found out, or, like, the remake wasn't a remake, actually. It was meta. It's very meta. Nomura likes to be meta. I don't, like, mean to be bothered, but I think they took Remake literally too seriously. That Sephiroth's remaking his own timeline where he wins. Because that is, like, ultimately his end goal, right? For him to win. Like, what about Advent Children, Dirge of Cerberus, Before Crisis, Crisis Core? Will all that be affected? Because in the Crisis Core reunion trailer, people pointed out that the Buster Sword doesn't resemble the one in the Advent Children or the OG like compilation, because it doesn't have that gold embellishment. It is based off the Buster Sword from the remake or the RE universe. And now I can't help but not like my excitement did go down because their reunion is gonna be based off the RE timeline, not the OG. And I'm wondering, why are they doing this? I know it's not their intention, but it feels like they're discarding all the original compilation and basically not redoing the whole thing, but redoing parts of it better, or I don't know if better's the right term to use. Because yes, if you play Dirge of Cerberus, it was cool seeing Weiss and Nero, but they're not the same characters, or like in that context. Ultimately, I'm just worried that them creating all these multiple timelines will cause toxicity in the fandom that's already prevalent. If you're on Twitter, you know FF7, the community could be a little toxic. I'm like really anxious this will add fuel to the fire especially for FF's, like, not FF, Zack Fair stands, like not the toxic ones, but the ones that are really died hard for him to be the main character. And I'm worried that this is vindicating them, and that Cloud's being, like, put to the waist, like, to the side. And it's just like, why do that to your main protagonist? There's a reason Cloud was chosen. The narrative was built for Cloud, not Zack. But with them having Zack live in another timeline, people want that timeline. They're not going to want the one with Cloud, especially if they don't like Cloud. Which I'm sad to say there are Cloud antis. I'm so sorry, baby Cloud. I just don't want this trilogy to be for nothing. At the end of the day, I don't want this to be for nothing. Because eventually, everything's going to go back to the status quo. Either it's going to go to the OG timeline or the RE timeline. One of them is going to become like the true one, because everybody wants a true timeline. I want a true timeline. And I am troubled by the fact that there's a possibility that they're going to disregard the original FF7 compilation just for this new timeline or new set of continuity. I don't want them to do that, because what was the point of it all then? The OG compilation. What is the point of this new trilogy? And I have to wait until the third one comes out. And that probably won't come out till like 2027. And I don't want to wait another 4 years to hold back on these thoughts. I want to say them now. Maybe I'm hoping this ages terribly. That is the best case scenario for me, for this video to age terribly, because I really love this series and I don't want this trilogy to be for nothing, okay? I am going to remain cautiously optimistic. Very, very more cautious, but I am going to remain optimistic that this will be an amazing trilogy. It's going to cause a huge, if not already, a big ass FF7 renaissance. And it's gonna, Square Enix is gonna be getting all that bank. All its fans will rejoice and be happy and be merry. That's the best time. That's the best timeline right there. Before I end the video, I just quickly want to apologize for the audio previously sounding like that. I was recording in a room with the AC on full blast because unfortunately, where I live, it is hot as hell. And I was gonna die without that AC. Global warming, am I right? Oh my goodness. Anyway, thank you so much if you made it all the way to the end of this video. I am eternally grateful. I really do appreciate that, because I'm always scared to put out my thoughts, and this is my first time ever putting it out there in the world for people to hear. It is a bit nerve-wracking, so I appreciate you. And at the end of the day, everybody watching this, you all deserve to know that you are valued, you are loved, and believe it or not, your existence is very much needed, because you make up the space. You don't take up the space, whether you believe it or not. Thank you so, so much for watching, and I hope that now you're having an amazing day, evening, night, etc. Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye.